everyone, it's Yvonne here from the Aussie Goddess to do your weekly reading. Now this reading will go from the 22nd to the 28th of March and will be for the sign of Libra. Libra, I'm using the before tarot for your reading. I also ask that you make sure at the moment you're checking out your moon sign. I know most people particularly go for their sun sign, but there seems to be a lot of information around at the moment regarding your moon sign, so make sure you check that out. Also, if you're enjoying my videos, make sure you give them a thumbs up. I want to make sure that the readings are resonating with as many people as possible at the moment, so please make sure that you thumbs up me if the reading resonates. Okay, so I'm using the before tarot. Remember, the readings do flip-flop a little bit too, so I could be reading for a cross-watcher. Okay, we're ready. All right, nice. So if you're dealing with a Leo at the moment, and they're coming up as your general energy for the week. Now, the Strength card is a card that talks to us about taming our inner beasts, working with our shadow side or our dark side. This is definitely about sort of coming into some sort of energy here of feeling the best you've ever felt. With the 8 above her head, I feel that perhaps she's letting go of cycles here and she's starting to embrace her, you know, her own personal energy, because she sort of feels like here that she's coming into her own. So maybe some of you have understood the value of boundaries. Maybe some of you have been hurt in the past and you're starting to understand how to manage these situations better, how to have good, healthy boundaries. Knight of Wands often gives rise to the idea of one-night stands. So maybe you are finding that you're perhaps getting people coming into your life that are not committing to you, or you're not finding perhaps a committed relationship, something that you really want. And because of that, looks like you're you're moving away from this energy, drinking from your own cup. So I feel like that perhaps you want some sort of longer term relationship, but you keep meeting people that aren't right for you. And I feel like with that cycling there's been some sort of looking into yourself, looking into your life to try and understand why you can't bring in the relationship you want, why you can't manifest a person into your life. Maybe you are meeting people, but they're not coming up to your I don't want to say your standards, because it sounds a bit pompous, but maybe they're just not resonating or gelling with you the way you want them to. And there's this feeling here that you are trying to understand what you do in terms of boundaries, self-expression, and your own personal strengths that lead you or will lead you to having something more substantial. I think you're strongly wanting a relationship here. But maybe you're also a person who's played the field for a while, and maybe you're realizing now it's not what you want anymore. You want something more permanent, less temporary. Okay, so we have the Page of Swords coming out. Now, interestingly enough, I've used 3 decks today, and I think he's come out in all of them. This is about speaking a truth. This is about someone apologizing, speaking up, speaking their mind. Oh, okay. Interesting how we get the Tower. Okay, so the Tower represents the breaking down of old ideas, old situations here. I feel like someone's telling you a truth here, or speaking a truth, or apologizing, or coming in, and they're going to help you put this energy right here. Let's keep going here. Okay, so we have the card of Pisces, Cancer here. Okay, and we have the 8 of Swords. You may have got really locked in to a particular situation or a particular relationship with someone that didn't work out, and you may have had a lot of trouble releasing that energy. And I feel like somebody here is going to help you see past that, so that you can understand why you get trapped in things, overthinking, overanalyzing, staying in that dark side of yourself, that shadow side. Somebody is coming in to help release you here. Let's see. Okay, so we have the Three of Pentacles, the Five of Pentacles. This is the energy here that you're in at the moment, and the Empress. So you're coming out of some sort of energy here that's been holding you back from reaching a potential. And I feel like you've put a lot of energy into this. You may have done a lot of work on yourself. You may have really sort of peeled back the layers, but you still haven't quite got to where you need to get to. And I feel this is something that is going to come to light over the next few days, maybe the next few weeks. Something that's going to help you understand how you build your foundations on a faulty surface. So it could be that you have been cycling with the same sort of person for a long time. I saw that in the beginning with the Strength card, that's cycling. You could have been getting the same sort of person coming into your life all the time, but maybe when they go, you're questioning what's wrong with you, and you're having this sort of beating yourself up, negative sort of response to people going. There's some sort of attachment or abandonment issue here. And I feel like somebody's either coming in to help you with this. Could be, you know, a friend, a family member, somebody who's going to help you see through this back to who you are here. So someone who's giving you some sort of insight. Now, it could be an apology, but it's definitely some sort of truth. So let's keep going. You could have been dealing with a water sign here, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, because we have the moon, so particularly Cancer and Pisces. Page of Wands, somebody wanting to offer you something here. And then we have this Four of Pentacles. I'm going to have to get some more cards for that though, because it sort of left it a little bit with too many endings here. I feel here that you've been doing a lot of work on yourself. I feel like you've been trying to understand your own boundaries. There is some sort of issue here around you being able to get a relationship you want, and you feel like you're always walking away from things that don't serve you here. So I keep thinking here, you're sort of like cycling similar people, similar personalities. You're not really bringing in what you want here. So it's like you are not manifesting or bringing to life what you really deserve. And I feel like you've done a lot of work, and I think you understand personal boundaries, and I get that. And I think you've done a bit of work around that, which is awesome. But something here is not quite meeting the mark and needs to still be sort of leveled so that you can wake up. You can see the energy here. And it's something to do with pain and suffering. It's almost like you think you don't deserve things, so you beat yourself up and question yourself rather than looking at the situation from the outside. So you may have a low confidence, low self-esteem, and it may be that when things don't work out, you tend to think it's because of something you've done, you've said. And this really stems back to this idea here. You could have had a parent who was very damaging in that respect and maybe took away that part of you that allowed yourself to make mistakes. So you've been constantly going through the same mistakes, the same energy, trying to work out what you're doing wrong, when in reality you may not be doing anything wrong at all. But it may be your way of seeing the world it's not really true to who you are. And I feel like you're in a very this very flat energy at the moment because you're not allowing things to go. And for a long time I was sort of talking to people about releasing things, thinking it was something of a physical nature, you know, releasing old love, releasing a person, releasing those sort of things, where now I realize for a lot of people this is about energy and learning. It's about releasing that stuff that's in your ego that makes you self-sabotage, create issues, and maybe because you're in that energy, you're attracting people to you that have a very similar energy, so they just reinforce what you're already feeling. And there seems to be some sort of influence from childhood around perhaps a parent figure who was inconsistent in their care. And I always think this is, you know, that whole idea of loving someone, because if you had a parent who showed you love should be a certain way, then you may have showed love to others in the same way. So for some of you, it may be overgiving, people pleasing. It's not necessarily that your parent did the wrong thing. It was just that they taught you to be a certain way, and that's not working for you in this situation. So there seems to be this need to release something. And I strongly feel that someone has either shown you or is going to show you the way, because I do have the Ten of Pentacles, Nine of Swords energy here. So there is definitely some sort of abundance waiting for you, but it's behind this anxiety and this. So what you're looking for is looking for you, but you're blotting it out because of your anxiety. This Eight of Swords, Nine of Swords energy is tough energy with this Five of Pentacles. That's really tough energy. But there appears to be abundance here, but you've got to learn to let something go. There is a choice here. Ah, it's through a decision. Look at this. Through a decision you transform, and there is a brand new start for you because of that. So some of you have to make some sort of decision about this person that's making an offer here. And that making this decision will take you into some sort of transformation which will spark new life for you here. But it's all down to this person and this decision here with the Tower. Someone's going to sort of like help you to realize what you need to see. They're going to come in and help you realize what it is you've been, what you've been doing to yourself here. Oh, very nice. I don't remember that card at all. Sometimes I think these cards just come out, and I get the same ones quite a lot, but I don't even remember reading this one. It's the Luminous Warrior. Look how beautiful this card is, and it's from the Mystical Shaman Oracle, and it's card number 32. Okay. The Luminous Warrior has no enemies in this world or the next. He is impeccable in word and deed. He focuses on his light rather than what hides in the dark. Okay. Since he casts no shadow, he is as radiant as the sun and can transform his most terrible enemy into his ally. His power comes not from the sword, but from speaking his truth at all costs. Big lesson there, Libra. Speaking his truth at all costs. Not trying to protect yourself, not being fearful of conflict, speaking your truth. The Luminous Warrior reminds you it is important to focus on your power, wisdom, and beauty. Do not be seduced by what seems wrong with you or the world. Remember that intention follows attention, so focus on your positive traits, feed your light with more light until you feel truly empowered. Then there will be little need for action as you resolve all situations from within. Wow, isn't that amazing? So what they're saying to you here is you need to let go of the negative views of yourself. You need to let go of this negative energy here because it's holding you back. So you need to bless yourself, give yourself lots of pats on the back, you know, be really graceful in taking compliments, speak your truth at all times, live in who you are, and allow this negative energy to pass. Listen to the way you speak to yourself. I always say to people, listen to what you say. And when something negative comes out, just acknowledge it, say you're glad that Spirit brought that to your attention, and just move on so that you start to discard this energy or this idea you have of yourself. It needs to go now. So even though this is coming out with this energy at the moment is not seen. You're not seeing it, but somebody's about to bring it to your attention. Have a wonderful week.